We'll just talk amongst ourselves until somebody notices that we're here. Want to see what people are doing today, tonight.
I think I want to make me a hot drink in a minute.
Okay.
I feel like having a hot drink.
What hot drink?
Golden milk.
Hmm. That you need that same pot to make it?
No, make it in my cup in the microwave. Oh, I have this tablet.
Maybe we'll be here all by ourselves.
Give me watch hours for.
Not if nobody's watching.
I'll be watching.
Oh.
I'm always watching.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Always
A watch out.
watching.
You'll give an A watch hour.
You know what I'm talking about? You know that reference?
No.
You don't know that reference? How dare you?
Now wait a minute. We're at 10,000 kilobytes per second. Oh, we dropped down to 8,600. Kim is always talking about. Oh, there's Ken.
Yeah, I can see
Hey
Mr.
Ken.
Bumper.
Hey Mark. Mark is watching too. He's always watching. It's later over there, isn't it? It's 11 o'clock here.
He doesn't know the reference. I'm always watching Wazowski. Always watching. He doesn't know that reference.
You didn't say Wasowski.
I did say Wazowski.
You
Just
did
didn't hear me because you never listened to me.
What are you guys doing tonight? We finished everything we're doing here, so figured I'd pop on and see what people are doing. I hope you're staying warm, Mark. So you're 2 hours ahead of us. You're into tomorrow already.
The infamous Nick's Roofing Incorporated is here.
I'm gonna assume your name is Nick. Hello, Nick.
Thank you for helping with that. It was kind of long.
You seem to be new here, so what you're seeing on the screen are Mexican cars, Mexican spec cars. This right here, this white Beetle is a 2000 model Beetle, air cooled.
Minus 21 Celsius. No way.
I was just outside sweeping the front of the house with.
He says I'll be buying a Ram charger from you this year.
Nice. There's quite a few of them. Do you want an automatic or a manual? Because there's two really nice manuals right now.
Have you been in contact with us already, or will you be getting in contact? I don't know if we've been talking to you. We have a couple of people right now that we're talking to, and we don't know if we have your name on file.
There's a really nice silver manual that has a dent in the tailgate right above where the license plate goes, because the guy said that a trailer hitch hit the back, and I mean didn't damage the paint or anything, it just put a little dent in there. Personally, I would leave it. I wouldn't even mess with it trying to fix it or repaint the tailgate or anything. And then the other one is a red one that either the roof and hood need to be buffed out or repainted and cleared. But they're both fairly low mile manuals, and they're very rare. I don't know if you want that or you want the fully loaded SLT Plus.
They say I'll be 1 ton 4x4 diesel dually swapping it.
Okay, so the drivetrain doesn't matter then, because you have your own engine and transmission. So you want the nicest body that we can find. The nicest body and interior.
Sexy body.
Yeah. I don't think anybody would call the Ram Charger a sexy body.
Come on, I like it.
I mean, a little bit after these Beetles, there's going to be a green one in here. A green Ram Charger.
Hold on.
I think it's a 2000.
Let me move my microphone a little bit farther away. I feel like I'm yelling a lot. So,
we don't need to yell. These microphones pick up pretty well.
Says the one that's yelling.
I'm not yelling. I can whisper. They can still hear me. See, look at the graph. Hey, Mark, when we're in Buff and Kim's, isn't Kim's always talking about the bits, right? She says we're at 7,000 bits. We're at 8. I'm showing 10,221 here. It's varying, but right around there, 10,000 bits, and nobody's paying me for them.
What?
The bits, the kilobits there.
I don't think they're the same thing.
Yes, that's what she's talking about. That's what she's looking at when she's talking to us. That Nick has a 2001 3500 4x4 limited with sport on top for a donor. Okay. So do you prefer the leather interior or the gray cloth? How could we have a better connection in Mexico than she does in
Does
Tennessee?
does does Kim do a live on Twitch as well?
No, I don't think Kim knows what Twitch is, other than that, other than twitching.
No, because bits is the coin that Twitch uses.
No, we're talking about the kilobits right there.
Are you
Kilobits
sure?
per second.
Are you sure?
Absolutely.
Okay, just saying.
Because she says that, somebody has to pay for those points, those kilobits. Yeah, what I tried to I had a client for a RAM charger like this one here, and he wanted the SLT plus with the third seat in the back and everything. And there is a green one, but I don't think the rear seat is original, the one that faces sideways, and the paint completely needs to be redone, which is not an issue. We have a shop here that can do it. That they do pretty nice work. They paint in a booth, and the whole 9 yards. They're not painting in dirt out in front of their house or anything. So,
Like other people that we used to know.
oh yeah, man, you hook up with the wrong body shop and
We knew this body shop guy. We knew is a strong word, but we were visiting this body shop, talking to them about the possibility of doing paint on a car. And this uh, vehicle shows up to deliver a vehicle for paint. The vehicle in question that showed up to deliver the vehicle is not a tow truck, it's not a flatbed, it's a box truck with no way to lower the vehicle. So what they decided to do is, since the vehicle was kind of hit already, it was hit somewhere, and that's why they were repainting it, they were redoing the body and something. They decided to just push it back off the trailer itself,
out of the box.
out of the box.
So what's a little more damage? What's a tweaked unibody? No big deal.
Yeah. It was amazing. We were watching it like it was a slow motion car crash. Watching it, I was like, oh no.
Nick, the interior, when I say leather in these Ram Chargers, the seats were only for these Ram Chargers. They are leather on the outsides, gray leather on the outsides with the same gray cloth. Well, no, actually, it's darker gray, isn't it, than this? It's a darker gray cloth inserts front and back. So, because the back seat's going to be unique to the Ram Charger. You can put your front seats in there because it's exactly the same vehicle in the front. But the back seat that you're looking at now is unique to the Ram Charger because it folds down and does all kinds of stuff. It's not the same as out of a quad cab.
Mark says, "Yep, you have better connection," and then I say, "Too many lives from Tennessee, maybe."
Yeah, they're Tennessee is the center of automotive YouTubers. I don't know. The lives have been freezing a lot. The same thing happened with Tony here a couple of hours ago, and I didn't see the circle of death, so it might have been me, might have been my connection. I don't know. He was right. They painted the ground too. Look under the wheels.
Oh yeah.
They didn't even move it to take the pictures after they painted the wheels and painted the ground under the wheels. That's funny. So what are you doing tonight, Ken?
He says, "I'm a worser." Nick.
What do you need a really nice painted one, or are you going to paint it later, or what? Because there's a lot, and that run well and everything, so we could get it to the border. But they need a complete paint job. So when you contact me, there's a new email on my website that you can contact me through, and then we can talk about that with whatever color you want and all that stuff.
They say, or a 1993 5.9 4x4 Canyon Sport.
Never seen one of those here. No. Are you in Canada or are you in the US?
He says, don't care about paint. My glasses are dirty. Hold on, let me clean my glasses. I can't see nothing. They're like dirty, dirty.
I have to say it in correct English. In what state do you live? Or do you live in Canada?
I was wondering why I was squinting so much.
Dirty glasses?
Yeah.
Okay. Canada. You and Mark live in Canada. And Ken doesn't. Mean Street Mopar does not.
Okay, it's a little better. What do you miss?
He lives in Canada.
Oh, Canada.
Yeah. Where they probably need roofing really bad because it's the winter season. So the snow does not come into the house in the cold.
I saw an image of a person that their door didn't seal correctly, like all the way. The door was closed, but it didn't seal, and there was a snowstorm outside, and it was literally a bunch of snow from the top to the bottom through the crack of the door, and there was a towel hanging next to it or a jacket or whatever, and it was completely frozen. Everything was so bad.
Okay, that's on the West Coast.
But I have friends that travel numerous times a year there.
Okay, we can do the arrangements with that. What we'll have to do is get a set of license plates in my name or Mrs. Spec's name, so you could cross it with that, and then drive it to Canada on those plates. Because the plates that the previous owner has, they're going to need to take them off and turn them in so they don't get charged every year for the registration.
They say someone always needs a roof.
Yep. Someone always needs a roof.
We need a roof.
Well, this isn't our house, so.
Nope.
The guy seals the roof every year or twice a year, and when the rain comes, it still comes in the house.
Yep.
So I'm not sure what they're gonna do about it because there's a tree out in front of the house, and the roots are pushing the house up actually. So I don't know what's that doing to the roof or creating cracks because we have a cement roof. Houses are made of block and cement here. So, you get a tree under it and starts pushing it up, it starts cracking the walls, starts cracking the ceiling, starts cracking everything. So what they do is they just put a sealer on it, and that's supposed to keep water out. But there's like 1, 2, 3, 4 places in the house that water comes in every time. We don't have a lot of rain here, so that's fine. But still,
is that purple or blue? The outside.
It's dark blue on the outside with blue on the inside, which I don't think works. I don't think those colors go together.
Especially that tone of blue because that looks kind of purple.
Yeah, well, in the pictures probably, but I'm sure in person it would be a dark blue.
That looks more like a royal blue.
Now the question is, Mark, why are you still awake? I'm not complaining, but ever since probably the year 2000, I have had at the very least
Purple.
at the very least 2 or 3 dogs. I was living in a small house in another part of the city that I bought, and I had 2 big dogs and probably 3 small dogs that lived in this one bedroom house with me. And there's a lot of white ones, yeah. No problem. So at nighttime, I would open up the door and the dogs would go running all over the neighborhood. That was their exercise. They were, in the house all day. And these people here don't understand that trash comes 3 times a week, not every night. But they still put their trash bags in front of their house every night. So my dogs would collect trash bags from the whole neighborhood and bring them back to my street to rip them open and get the little goodies that are inside. It was so funny. See, I had a big black dog. I don't know what she was. All my dogs are mutts. Big black dog. And she would be so happy with herself. She'd be running down the street with this bag of trash in her mouth and her head back so the trash didn't hit the ground. And she would drop it in front of the house and open it and all that.
I knew how to clean it up afterwards.
Oh, I every night I was out there cleaning up everybody else's trash. But it was very interesting because we always talk about Uncle Tony's dogs in his live, and somebody was in his live that say, "Oh, well, we don't train dogs with the alpha thing anymore. We do it differently. We treat them nice and this and that." I said, however you think of dogs, you're not going to change the fact that they're pack animals. They have to have an alpha for the betas to follow. So in my pack over there, of course, I was the alpha in that little house. But every once in a while, there was this little wired-haired dog with about I don't know, a 2-inch tail on him. He would come. Really? You have to keep the trash for that long, Mark? Wow. Nobody would do that here. People would put it out on the sidewalk, and it would stack up until somebody comes and picks it up. So this little dog would come to the house, and he would scratch on the door because I guess he knew. I guess other dogs were telling him in the neighborhood that I had food in my house. So he was scratching the door, and I would open the door, and I would sit on the ground, and we have every parasite known to dogdom here, which is the fleas, the ticks, the big balloon things. I guess I call it.
It's ticks.
It's a tick, yeah. But there are 2 different kinds of ticks: the little red one with the legs, and then the big ones that blow up like balloons. So
I think they're male and female.
I don't know because well, yeah, they do grow too. So he would come to the door, and I would sit down. And this is a street dog. He didn't belong to anybody. And I would take the ticks out of his ears and take the ticks off of him, and then I would give him some food. So after a little while, he learned that I will give him food if he allowed me to take the ticks off him. Okay, so fine. Like a couple of months later, he ended up staying in the house. I took him in the bathroom, gave him a bath, took everything off of him, every tick off of him, and he ended up being part of the pack. Now, what's interesting about that was before he was part of the pack, he was just walking around in the street at night, and I watched. There was a Great Dane that lived on the next block over, which I was also friendly with. So he comes over and to this dog, and this little dog throws himself on his back, puts his legs up like, "Please don't kill me," like that. So we're talking about a pack here, right? Once this dog became part of my pack, there was, I think, 5 other dogs in the pack. Once he became part of the pack, that same dog came over, and this time he did not throw himself on the ground. His tail was up, and he was ready to go after the dog because he had backup. He was part of the pack. So this other guy can say, "Oh no, we don't do the pack thing, the alpha anymore." No, you're not going to change thousands of years of canine history because you think that a dog doesn't need an alpha. A dog needs an alpha. When I had in this house, I had, I don't know, 4 or 5 dogs here, and when the alpha would die, you figure the next older one would be in line. Well, no, that he was a medium-sized dog. He didn't want it. He did not want to be the alpha at all.
Hi, baby.
Keep crying, keep crying. He didn't want to be the alpha at all. So a little dog, who's the one that's left now, he was actually the one that took over. And, but he knows that I'm the alpha when I'm in the room.
Will the Trill is here?
Hey, Will.
Why are you doing my job?
Thanks for joining us. I'm not doing your job.
You're taking my job. You're talking too much.
So I've had,
Mark wants to know if the Galaxy has a speedometer in kilometers.
yes, it's a Mexican car. All the cars here from the beginning of time were always in kilometers. Yeah, he's right behind me.
Hold on.
Mrs. Spec is making a lot of food. She's cooking some kind of stew. She did the same earlier, and then she had something in the oven with tomatoes or something. And he's smelling it, so he comes over here expecting to find food, but there ain't no food here. Ain't no food. So yeah, I've watched the way the pack works. If the alpha dies, then the next one should step up. The one that's been in the pack the longest, but he didn't want to, so this little one did. This little one took over. But if I, snap my fingers or whistle for him, he's right at my feet. But I enforce that by the fact that if we go through a door, I have to walk through first. He has to walk through behind me, so he knows very clear who the who the alpha is with us.
Will says that's a nice Chevy you got showing right now.
Yeah, that's a very original 64, I think, 64, 65 Chevelle four-door sedan, inline six, three on the tree. But how much could it be worth? Probably not as much as they're asking for it. It is a very, very, very clean car. But people that have a car like that don't look at the market. They just know it's an old car. It's, what is it, 60 something years old now, 60 years old, and it must be worth a lot of money. So I wanted to put it in here to show you, it looks pretty original too. It looks pretty original, which I was just talking on Uncle Tony's with a guy there on Uncle Tony's live tonight, and the guy in there says, well, most cars you find today have been modified like crazy, and there's lots of bondo and this and that. And I said, I fire up Facebook Marketplace right now in Mexico and find 10 cars that are 50, 60 years old, and they're completely original paint, original interior, because that is the original interior in that car. And nobody has touched that car in all this time. I find the majority of the cars that I find are still riding on their original wheels, cars and trucks, original wheels that they came out of the factory with. That's not a thing in the US. Somebody along the way has put some Kragers on it or put some whatever on it. They want bigger wheels and tires. Okay, so it's a 64, yeah. Notice it has no heater. There's no heater on the firewall. And of course, it's got chrome parts, so it goes faster than the one that doesn't. But yeah, there's a lot of cars like that here that are still original, which is amazing, just amazing. If people didn't know that was a Mexican car and you took that to a car show, people would be falling all over it. But of course, it has kilometers on the speedometer, so that's a dead giveaway. And this one, you just notice that it has the Barracuda front end on it, this Valiant, but that's because it's a Valiant Acapulco.
Lone Range Garage is here.
Hey, Lone Wrench.
I was waiting for you to stop talking.
Welcome. This is just kind of impromptu to see who was out there. But this is a Valiant Acapulco, which has that big emblem on the back, which would be equal to the Valiant Signet over there in the U.S., the top of the line. But here in Mexico, they use the Barracuda front end, which I think looks great on there. From the front, you can't tell it's not a Barracuda. A 409 big block wheel.
I want to know if it's picking it up. Hold on.
A little bit is picking up.
Yeah. Sorry. Mark says, no, Mexican Spec. If it doesn't go fast, chrome it.
Well, that's exactly what they did. The valve cover and the air cleaner.
Will says, if that Chevelle wasn't as nice as it is now, it's a perfect car to put in a 409 big block.
Would you do that in a four-door sedan, though?
And Lone Ridge Garages, you're keeping me up. It's 12:30 here.
Yeah, you're only an hour ahead of us, Lone Wrench. But You sticking around to look at the Mexican cars? Here, I told the story on yesterday, but when these 65, 66 Mustangs were, I don't know, 15, 20 years old or so, Americans came into Mexico and bought them all up and took them to the U.S. So it's very hard to find one of those here with kilometers on the speedometer. And that's what I look for when I'm looking at these pictures to see if they have the metric speedometer in it to see if it is an original Mexican car. But this one does look like it's a Mexican car. I don't think this is an untouched car because there's no way that that's the way the engine compartment looked when it came out of the Mexican factory. No way. That is a lot of red though. Yeah, it would definitely be a sleeper, Mark. But would you spend the money for the engine and everything else for a four door? Yeah, they are great sleepers.
KJ Kiel is here.
Hey KJ Kylie. I think it's Kylie.
Kylie.
I think it's Kylie.
Ah, sorry, Spanish.
We don't have those codes here. There was only one engine here in Mexico, Will. That's the 289 high output. And it's interesting.
Both del Campos here.
Yeah, Buff, surprise. He's always up this late.
Is
Yeah,
he?
Buff, surprise live. Yeah, he does. He goes well into the night on his lives.
Mm.
Yeah, so the 74 Mexican Mustang, Dean Stevenson's was telling us that no, it wasn't Dean Stevenson. It was a website that showed about the Mexican Mustangs that it had the 74 Mustang with a 302 in it in Mexico had 205 gross horsepower. 205 because it's basically the same engine from 1968. 68 up to 84, they were the same engine. They never changed anything in the engine. They never lowered the compression. They never put smog equipment on it or anything in Mexico. And I talked to a guy on he contacted me for some information on the Mexican cars. He was on a what do you call it? He was involved in developing the 74 Mustang for Mexico and the fact that it had a V8 in it. And he told me that the only difference is that they couldn't put a V8 in the American car because you couldn't get the smog equipment in there. But there was no smog equipment in Mexico, so it fit right in there. So that's the big difference.
Mark says, "Where I am with all the rusted cars around here? Sure." Will says, "Only the 289 high output. I wonder if it makes 271 horsepower."
I don't know. Maybe it isn't a high output. I don't know. They put that on the air cleaners here, but I'm not sure if it's the same engine that it was over there. The original 64 and a half Mustangs, and I think the early 65s were built in the U.S. because they didn't have the factory open here yet, and the VIN is basically the same VIN as a U.S. car, but in the middle of it has MEX in it, which is interesting. That's how they differentiated the Mexican cars from the U.S. cars. And then later they just went to the Mexican thing where it starts with an A and then it has a bunch of letters and numbers that mean nothing, or if they do have meaning, I don't know what it is.
Bob says, "Kim woke me up sleeping in front of my laptop." Lol. Were you sleeping in front of your laptop? Your back must be hurting. Mark says to Bob del Campo, "Did you tell her you were just resting your eyes?"
Of course. I hope you were in the house, Buff, and not in the shop. I hope so. So I got an email from the client today that wanted the Volkswagen van, and he says he has concerns that the tensions between Mexico and the U.S. are heightening. So I asked him, "What tensions are you talking about? I'd like to know." But he didn't get back to me today. So I'm not sure if he's going to want that van or not. I don't know. Has Trump been talking about doing something in Mexico now? I don't know. There's a huge difference between Mexico and Venezuela in that Maduro was not duly elected by the public. whereas this president was duly elected. So it would be a completely different situation.
Hmm. Will says this makes me wish that would have been different if the U.S. emissions regulations in and the 1973 oil embargo causing the fuel crisis never happened.
See, that's the interesting part, Will, because you the each country's government decides what kind of cars are going to be made. The U.S. gave the car companies a bunch of regulations, and so did Mexico. So, like Mexico told the dealers, you can only have four different models on your lot at any one time. So, for example, with the what we call VAM is the AMC type cars, they were selling the Javelin up until 1973 when it went out of production. So in 1974, they were able to sell the Gremlin. Even though the Gremlin came out in 1970, they couldn't put it on the lot because they already had four models on the lot. There was no room for it. So they had to wait until 1974, which was the first year they sold a Gremlin in Mexico. So it's interesting how things unfolded with the rules that the car companies had to deal with from the government. Why that was a thing, I don't know. I'm only assuming that the Mexican government didn't think that the public was capable of making a decision if there was so many different options to choose from. That's what I think it was.
Bob says in the house. It's normal. She wakes me up and tells me to go to bed, but instead she told me you were live.
That's interesting. Okay. So I must have shown up on her computer somewhere. And what I did was I took the thumbnail from yesterday and I crossed out the number and I put today's number on it and I put it on there. I'll just reuse the same thumbnail.
Okay, that counts.
Why not?
Hmm.
Yeah,
Exacto,
so like
precioso.
this truck here, this yellow and white truck, this creamsicle truck, is a Mexican truck, which means it has a completely different bed than the US trucks had. And I'm not sure if like you like the 67 buff because of the small window. I'm not sure if the truck in Mexico had a small window.
Will says, I didn't want to bring politics here, but to answer your earlier question about Trump and Mexico, he wants to hunt down and eliminate the cartel,
Yeah, well, that's what concerns us because he's going to target where my son lives right now in Culiacan.
which is very close to
Yeah,
us.
it's 2 hours from us, and it's in the town where he lives. Hopefully, there'll be real what do you call it? Not just drop bombs
I
willy
don't
nilly.
want them to come in
No,
to
nobody
begin with.
does. Nobody does. But I think he's got his hands full with what he did on Friday night. Although I haven't watched any videos on YouTube about it. I haven't heard any stories about it or anything. What happened? The whole thing there. We asked Luis, and I think he's just oblivious to everything when on Buffs Live. It's. I asked him specifically in Spanish if what happened the night before, um, you know, it has affected him, and he just answered okay or something like that. So he's not answering anything. Oh, that's nice, Kim.
What? Kim is here, and they say, you come up as a suggestion on my feed, but would have been upset to have missed you. Oh,
Yeah,
thank you.
that's nice. I'm glad my when I only put the thumbnail up there 4 minutes before we were supposed to go live, so it's nice that to see that it actually worked.
It's also nice that you like our rambling.
Yeah, that's not a commercial plate. I don't think they use commercial plates in Mexico for those trucks. I'm not sure what one of these trucks would be worth in the U.S. Of course, they all have. Yay!
That was
Hey,
here.
Tabo.
Why are you taking my job? Stop taking my
You
job.
said Tabo first. I can answer afterwards. Tavo, what time is it there? Mrs. Spec was asking, well, what time is it in Australia?
Yeah, because you said it's kind of late to do a live, and I'm like, well, what time is in Australia? Because we have several people from Australia that watch the live.
Australia and New Zealand.
Yep. Now that the cat is here, I want to get up.
Slimo too. The Aussies are here. Woohoo! Say woohoo.
Yay!
Woohoo.
Now that the cat is here, I want to get up.
Well, he's a cat. Put him down.
No. Kim says not many streamers start this live. Maybe it will be a decent time on a slot on a Sunday.
Yeah, but there's a lot of people on the East Coast that are asleep, like Chris and probably Jay. Fun with cars.
This
So
late. Well,
yeah.
maybe Sunday, but not that late.
Well, you have Uncle Tony, and then you have Jamie afterwards.
But Uncle Tony finished at like around 8.
Oh, I wanted to ask you, Kim and Buff, are you thinking about starting the Tuesday live an hour later, so the more people can be in there from Kiwis? Because Driveway of Misfits told me that I should go in there and into Kiwis live, but of course I'm contractually obligated to be in yours, being the mod, of course.
Tavo says it's 17:06 Monday, so 5:06,
5:06, yeah,
5 p.m.
in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
So we're here ready to go to bed, and you're in the middle of the day over there,
Yeah.
or in the afternoon, en
Will
la tarde.
Will says, anyways, sometime in March, I'll be taking Kathy to a Mustang shop to have her oil and transmission leaks fixed.
I think that's Katie. Is it Katie, Will?
I don't know.
Your car's name is Katie?
How do you spell Sherry?
Sherry.
SH?
Yeah.
Okay. Like
Yeah.
the name, not like the fruit. Okay.
Yeah. No, that's Cherry. And I'm not going to call a car Cherry
I don't
for
know.
many reasons.
It was your first.
Okay. No problem, Buff and Kim.
Mark says nice color on that truck. Kim says we talk about it, but not this week. Sometime in the future.
And Buff said exactly the same thing.
Mark says I'm going to go to bed in about 25 minutes. I have to freeze my nuts. My fingers off installing washer nozzles on my van.
Well, probably both, Mark.
Will says yes, her name is Kathy.
Katie.
Katie.
Yes.
That was his. Sherry's a nice name for a car.
I don't like Cherry because it's description of a perfect car or a virgin car, and I don't like either of them.
But it was your first car.
Yes, it was my first car.
Well,
that's why her name is Sherry.
Okay.
She is Christine's little sister.
Okay.
She's 5 years younger than Christine.
Where are my shoes?
Thank you for joining us, Josh.
Hi, Josh.
We're just kind of asking people what they're doing this late at night.
I need something to rest my feet on. They're cold.
No timeouts here, Tavo.
We need
What? I thought you were gonna go get something hot.
What did I rock? Yes, I need a drink. Wait.
Not that kind of drink, people. We don't do that.
I'm gonna get some golden milk. I'll be right back.
Okay. People love their stripes on Mustangs for some reason.
My leg.
Jesus.
My leg fell asleep because you were on my leg.
This is a 1968 Mustang, but there's no rear side marker lights on it, which is interesting. Oh yeah, I think it's spelled with 2 R's, isn't it, Tavo? The Chinese company. I've seen those cars around. Will, that's actually a 68. If you look closely, you can see the side marker light in the front, but they didn't put one in the back for some reason. It might have been taken off over the years, but or maybe it didn't come in Mexico with it because they weren't required. That is possible also. My wife named my Camaro drag car Jenny. Why would she do that? Did she name it Jenny after she saw Forrest Gump? Jenny. It is a 68 buff. It's a 68 Mustang with no rear side marker lights. Yeah. And then jump to an Opal. I sent Kiwi some pictures of the orange one that's going to come up here. And I said, wouldn't that car be great with a V8 under the hood, with a 350 under the hood, because it's got that fastback body, and it should have a bigger engine than the little 4-cylinder that it has. And he's like, yeah, that's great. Well, since that is a 68, I'll be putting a 428 Cobra Jet big block. It'll look as authentic as possible. No one would tell it's a tribute, except for the speedometer that goes up to, what is it, 200 and something kilometers per hour. Mark says, no, it's the name of the little engine that could. It is. The little engine that could was named Jenny. Could have sworn that was a male anyway, the engine. Yeah, Buff. It's got a 68 grill. What I also said to Kiwi was, we cannot put the V8 in it here and then cross it, because the EPA doesn't allow engine swaps in cars being imported into the country. So the car would have to cross with its 4-cylinder and then throw the V8 in it, the engine and transmission in it. But there's plenty of room under the hood and everything in one of those Opals. Small block, Ford. Why would you put a Ford in there? It's a General Motors product. Opal was owned by General Motors. Gotta be a Chevy. And 350s are all over Mexico because that's the only V8 that they had for years and years and years here. They didn't have the 305s. They didn't have the big blocks. They didn't have any of the smaller ends, the 283s or anything. It was 350. That's it. Makes things easier to find parts here. They don't have to ask you what engine you had in your car. They ask you V8 or 6-cylinder. That's it. It looks like this car used to be white, and somebody painted it this blue for some reason. People just repaint your car the same color. And if you're going to repaint it, strip it down and paint everything. Because I've seen people here that changed the color of the car, and you could not tell it was a color change. They painted everything just like it came out of the factory. That might probably could arrange that, Buff, but he's probably not going to go for it.
Arrange what?
If I sell a car to Kiwi and he puts a V8 in it, takes a 4-cylinder out of it, Buff wants the 4-cylinder. Tavo says, I believe they built that Opal in South Africa with a small block Chevy. Why would they do that? And because they would be using a whole lot of gasoline, and that doesn't look like a place that gasoline is cheap.
Will says that color looks silver, actually.
Yeah, it's hard to tell in these pictures. Here's something that gets on my nerves. I understand the interior is red, but why do you need to paint the brake drums red? I don't want to see the brake drums when I look at the wheel. I want to see the wheel and a neutral color behind there. I don't understand all this mania for having all these colors on your wheels.
So pink?
No pink. No pink. Hey, little dog, what are you doing? Oscar, what you doing, boy? Huh? What you doing, boy? Did you eat your dinner? Your dinner? We came home from shopping today. We didn't do it on Friday. We did it today. And open the front door, and the dog runs right out the front door. He's lived here for years, and he has never done that before. He's getting a lot more he's getting a lot more comfortable coming into the house. But I got to give him a bath.
Yeah. Davos says South Africans put V8s in everything. In everything, sorry. Even the MK1 English Ford Capri.
Really?
Pablo Campos says it needs red lights in the wheel wells.
I don't think it needs any red lights on that car at all.
Will says the fun thing is before swapping the four-cylinder with the V8 is over revving the original engine until it blows up.
No, you take the original engine out and you put it in something else, something that's a smaller car.
You make a sleeper?
See this? Another mania is painting everything the same color, like the dashboard. That doesn't need to be that bright color. You don't want bright colors on your dashboard. This dog here,
I love that you're pointing at him like they can see him.
I'm pointing at the dog. This dog here, I live in a little cul-de-sac where the houses are pretty close to each other, and one of my neighbors, which is 2 houses away, I think his mother died, and the dog belonged to her. This was in the summertime. The man wouldn't even put water down for this dog. He wouldn't feed it, wouldn't put water down. The dog was within hours of dying when I called him out from his garage, and I took him directly to the vet and gave him a
IV and stuff.
Yeah, gave him an IV and got him hydrated again, and then brought him here. And ever since then, he's my shadow. If I walk out there, he's right at my feet. Mrs. Spec says he loves me so much.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm the source of food.
I'm not saying he loves you so much. I'm saying he's in love with you.
Oh, well, that's different.
Yes. Will says, is that Barracuda the original color combination? I know Mopar always had weird color combinations.
I cannot tell you because I don't, unless I see the original invoice for the car, that'll tell me what color it was. I mean, it does look like Barracuda seats, doesn't it? The red seats and the back seat as well. Unless somebody in Mexico did a really good job duplicating the Plymouth fabric. But the only way to tell is by looking at the original invoice, and it'll say that the car was this color when it was new, and it had this interior, and it had all the options. It lists all the options that it had, and the price and everything else from when it was new. What?
Get it.
Take it off.
Mm-hmm.
But if I don't see the invoice, then there's no way to know, because that plaque that you saw under the hood doesn't have the codes like a US car would. There's no codes that say what color or options or anything else that the car had. It has other information, but there's nothing about codes or options or anything.
Yes.
Somebody built in a spoiler into the tailgate and into the rear of this car, which is an interesting thing. Now you have to worry, how much Bondo did they use?
Mm-hmm. Both asks, are those crackers? Those are crackers?
I didn't even look at it.
Can you see it? No.
No, it's from the back. They're the wheels.
Oh, okay.
They probably are.
Will says, are there any Opel GTs down there?
No, that car was not sold here.
That was.
I haven't even seen one for sale that was imported.
That was says, pretend brake discs or the calipers are missing.
I didn't look that closely at it. Or they're.
Can you see it?
No, you have to see a shot, a side shot of it. I don't think the calipers are missing. It's a run and drive.
My favorite game is watching a movie and seeing the smallest tidbit of a car and asking Mr. Spec, what is that car? Tell me what's the car.
We were just watching a show, The Last of Us, the second episode of the show, and they were crouching behind this yellow car.
No spoilers, by the way.
And I'm looking at the shape of the roof, and I'm looking at the rear window, and I said to her, Volkswagen Beetle, the liquid cooled front wheel drive one. It was one of those.
This is what I'm telling you. This is what I'm telling you. You didn't say those words. You thought them.
No, I didn't. I said it really. I verbalized VW Beetle. You were paying attention to the show, but I said VW Beetle. Yes, I did say it. It
Mark
wasn't that long ago, I remember.
Mark says, "Lol, I tried to find where Jenny was the engine's name. I can't find it, lol. But I have a custom plate and made plate for it that I never installed on it."
Well, Mark, if your wife thinks its name was Jenny, then its name was Jenny. That's all you have to know. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Tavo says, "We love these Datsuns over here, but we got the OHC 1600."
Yeah.
Josh says, "I don't watch movies, so spoil away."
It's not a movie. It's a TV. It's a series based on the video game The Last of Us. I don't play video games, but yeah, it was. It's like the apocalypse type thing, and then all of the cars. This was in Boston, supposedly 20 or 30 years after the thing happened. So there was stuff growing on all the cars, and they bombed the area. So there's buildings falling over and stuff. But the new Beetle is unmistakable. Since you're drinking, I'll answer it. The blue car is a Datsun 510 sedan. Will 19 let's call it 1970, but the wheels were from a newer Datsun 510. I recognize those, or even from a 280ZX. I've seen those on a 280ZX as well.
Mark says, "Happy wife, happy life."
Ooh, I found money. I found 15 pesos. Wow.
Sit right there for the tips. What?
Are you gonna read what Mark said? I have to wait for you to read it
No,
now.
I read it. You were
I didn't
picking
hear.
up
I didn't hear
money.
you. So you didn't hear me either when I said big Volkswagen Beetle.
You're picking up money. I said, "Happy wife, happy life."
And if I'm not happy, then there's no way she's gonna be happy. So she has to keep me happy.
Mm-hmm.
They forget the second part of that. This is an old Datsun. This is an old Fiat 500, which is not my type of car, but somebody really did the heck out of that interior. Man, it really jumps out at you. There's no way that it was a bright color like that from the factory. Everything was as dull as you could get in the Fiats.
Will says, "For that's on 510. I wonder what the perfect small block V8 would be for a swap."
It wouldn't be a V8. It would be one of the Datsun engines that they put in there. There's a lot of high powered Datsun engines.
Tavo says, "Happy cat, happy household."
Yeah, could be. Hey Joey, are you happy? Yeah, he said yes.
I was petting him for like half an hour, so you better be happy. My leg is asleep.
I free feed the cats. There's always food in their bowls, and they can go out anytime they want to. When it's cold, they come in, they sleep with me, so they can keep me warm. I keep them warm. They have nothing to complain about.
They have a water fountain.
Yeah, they have their water, which is constantly circulating. The dog also has his, which is huge right now.
Yeah.
It's really big for him. So
I can turn it into a litter box.
no, it's not stable.
What do you mean?
If the cat puts his paws on the edges, it'll
No.
fall like that. Yeah.
No.
I
With
yeah.
the litter, it will be heavy enough.
Maybe not. Ford Galaxy 1970. Dog does not come with the car. Oh, I don't have my phone with me, but I'll get it, Mark.
Jenny's plate. What are you guys talking about? So what are you guys?
Danny was just in here too.
Hmm. What are you guys talking about? What is Jenny's plate?
It's a plate on his Camaro race car, or that
Mm.
was on his Camaro race car.
Mark says, "Dog might come with the shade though." Lol.
Dog might come with the shade.
I think he thinks he's talking about the picture. Mark
Oh
says,
yeah.
"Jenny, my Camaro drag car." Okay. Mark says, no, never made it to the car.
I didn't get it on my phone.
What is it though? Will says, actually, since Opel was owned by GM, you can actually install not only small block Chevys, but also small block Buicks, Oldsmobiles, and Pontiac.
Mm-hmm.
Barry Kudas here. Hi, Barry.
Hey, Barry.
Welcome to the Impromptu Live. I was gonna say impromptu chat. Same.
Now, if I knew how Instagram worked, I could.
Mark says, usually the dog doesn't come with the car, might come with the shade.
I haven't gotten it, Mark,
How do you send it though?
like he usually does.
Bye.
Good question.
Thank you. Instagram, Messenger, email. How do you send it, Mark? That's a nice blue. I
I
like
think
that
it's
blue. I don't
Instagram.
like the wheels blue, but I like the car blue.
I don't like the bumpers blue.
No,
That's way too much blue.
yeah, but I like that blue. I like that shade of blue, but it's a bit too much. Will says there's a YouTube video of an Opel Manta with an Oldsmobile 215 V8.
Oh yeah. A friend of mine in school had one of those, and every Opel I've ever been in has been a rattle trap. You cannot stop the rattles in that thing.
Josh says GM was rather short-sighted to sell Opel to Stellantis.
Yeah.
Mark says
But
it's
that 2008, they probably had the.
Mark said to send it to Facebook Messenger. So Messenger. My soup is making noise.
I have a message that says test.
Open it.
I did.
There you go.
Okay, there it is. Oh,
Uh,
it's not an official plate then. Rock Bottom Racing.
Mark says my dad painted a '67 around Parisine that blue color. It was a marine color. A ver.
And it's cursive, so my son wouldn't be able to read it. What is that letter there?
I wonder if he can read it but not write it.
I don't know. He was never taught it in school, so. Here, hold the phone, cat, please.
I mean, same, but I can read it sometimes. Um, Grill says, yeah, I really don't like the color of that Ford Galaxy. It's too bright for that car.
People that have cars like that, they spend a lot of money personalizing like that, and then want to ask a lot of money for it. No, it's going to cost me a lot of money to put it back to the way it was before you messed it up.
Yeah.
So,
Will says, is that an Opel Manta right now?
no, it is not. This is the orange Opel Record, or it could be a Fiera. Fiera? Fiera SS that I sent to
Yeah.
Kiwi. Yeah,
It
that I
mean
that I sent to Kiwi.
it means beast.
It's in very good condition because the cars in Brazil, the Opalas, they got an inline six to power those, and we only got the 4-cylinder here.
Tavo says the forecast is 43 to 45 for the rest of the week. 43 to 45? You're burning up. Mark says, no, it was custom made.
That was an Opel steering wheel, Mark. I'm
Mark
pretty
says
sure.
Datsun. Mark says, was a D on the steering wheel.
No, that was an Opel or an O or their whatever their thing was.
I can read there. I can read.
And here's another original 4-door sedan, 6-cylinder, 3-speed on the tree
I can rewind it.
that has just existed all these years. A 71 model that looks like this.
Tavo says, I'm stuck up and staying inside for the week.
Good. Have your cats near you so they stay cool too. How long is that gonna go like that?
Why bothers you?
Well, if I lay down to go to sleep,
Oh no, I won't.
it's gonna.
No, it's not gonna bother you. But no, it's not gonna go up for. Well, it's gonna go up for like 2 hours.
This car right here would be. I don't remember that what they call it, but the benchmark. Somebody's restoring a car like this, and they could see where everything was when it came out of the factory. Those are definitely factory seats.
Bill says four doors need more love.
Well, Tavo loves them, even though he has a two-door Ute. And you gotta love the green, the dark green with the green interior. You just gotta love it. I don't know what Taz has anything to do with it.
I really like that. Looks so good with the full complement of
Complement of
doors.
doors, and you can see 3 petals right there, 3 on the tree. It probably shifts better than my Plymouth Savoy too, smoother. I don't see any. Is that a screen right there?
A
Is that a
screen?
screen right there?
I don't think so. No, I think it's air conditioning or something like that.
Well, there's no levers there, so maybe it's. I don't even know if that's where the controls would be. I don't know. And like I said yesterday, this Galaxy here,
But Snap Husker is here.
hey Pits Night, we ain't doing nothing. We ain't doing nothing.
Raise your hands.
This car here is, if you look for a 71 Galaxy 4-door sedan in the US, it would be very, very hard to find. This would be a perfect car to make a tribute car to the movie White Lightning, because it is the model that you need, and it's a factory stick shift car. You just need to move the gear shift lever to the floor like they showed in the movie, even though the car was not a stick shift, obviously, but they wanted you to think it was. This would be the perfect car to do it with.
I still want a supernatural baby.
Yeah, those are very expensive cars though because of the movie.
Serious.
It probably is holding the grill together of a broken grill, Buff. It probably broke and they put that piece of metal on there to keep the grill together.
That was a ticks every box.
Yeah. Of course, I had one of these, but it was a dark green with a green interior, just like the Chevelle was. But mine was a convertible with a white top in Vegas. And I never had air conditioning in my cars in Vegas unless it was the new cars that I was driving. It never bothered me. It never entered my mind to go have air conditioning fixed in a car because it just costs so much.
That was says Dirty Harry destroyed plenty of them, contributing to the shortage.
Yeah, but people just threw them away over the years. Nobody thought anybody would ever want them because they're big, lumbering, you know, 4-door sedans and stuff. But no, people are building tributes to that car in the movie.
We call them boats.
And you're not going to find a stick shift in the US. I can guarantee you that. Not going to find a stick shift over there.
Will says, "Yep, that is a perfect car for White Lightning tribute since the interior is factory blue."
And the stick shift. You don't have to go finding pedals or anything else. It's a 351 Windsor under the hood, which is a big enough engine, and you put a 4-speed in there or a 5-speed, and you got the perfect tribute car.
Bitsnap says, hold on, I have to do the accent. Hey brother, I've been thinking about y'all. And good to see ya and Miss Anna at this odd hour.
You want to correct them on your name or just let the double N go?
That's fine. I don't care.
Everybody over there spells it with 2 N's.
I like it. They do seem weirded out when he asked me to spell my name and it's only one N.
Yeah.
It's like they know it's not from over there. That was says, this is Volkswagen showing off the number plate mount.
Mm-hmm. Some of them still have it, but I wonder why they went from, in the earlier models, the where you put the license plate lamp was small, and then on the later ones it grew to almost the length of the whole hood. I wonder why they did that. What the purpose of that was, because it still only had one license plate lamp in there. It didn't serve any other purpose, really.
I hope that's not oil.
No, it's probably just there's no oil in the front. It's a rear engine car.
Oh, I thought it was a trunk. I was looking at the floor. I wasn't looking at what
They're
was.
headlight. Those are headlights there.
I just thought it were lights. I don't know. My brain supplied the information. Business says, I love fixing AC in vehicles nobody thought was affordable enough for the fix.
Yeah.
Barracuda says, with American cars, my attitude is different these days. Four doors are more appealing. Always were cool.
They're perfect. Um, so you don't have to keep moving, opening the door, moving the seat. Pit Snipe, I have a really good air conditioning shop here that I have been taking my cars to since I don't know, it's been 25, 26 years now, probably 25 years. And you wouldn't believe the cheap prices that he charges.
Yeah.
He charged to rebuild the whole system in my 72 Ford LTD. It came out to 13,000 pesos, like $700. But he replaced everything in that car and he made it work. If my air conditioning stops working in my Durango, I could take it over there and it's like let's say $20 and he'll put more Freon in it for like $20. So I will never complain about his prices. He fixed Lester LeSaber's car because he had to take the whole air box out and everything was rusted inside and they rebuilt everything they could rebuild and put the new heater core in and the bill was like $400 to do all that labor and it was over there for quite some time, but the air conditioning works in it, and they got everything working that they could, but he does need another unrusted air conditioning box for his Fairmont.
Business says, Miss Anna. Got it. And you get one of my three remaining bacon brain cells, ma'am. I honestly don't mind Anna with two N's, or just Miss.
That's how you put it on your Facebook.
Yeah, but I was trying not to be known. Or just Mrs. Spec is fine. Like, it honestly doesn't bother me at all. Business says, that sounds about right. I did both our semis for about that price.
What we don't have here is the government putting all kinds of taxes on the Freon. Hey, it's dangerous, so we're going to tax you and keep the money. No, there's none of that here. So the shop has R12 and they have the R134. So whatever my old cars need, yeah, it gets fixed.
Business says, you definitely got a good one, Spec.
I have lots of good ones, but yeah, the wife definitely. The first car I ever sold was this black car that's sitting out in front of my house. They never picked it up, so I just kind of have the car here. We got the fan working. We hot wired the fan to work, but the air conditioning wasn't working, heater wasn't working, none of that was working. And took it over to the shop over here, and he says, "Yeah, I will do everything for 3,500 pesos. I'll fix the air conditioning. I'll put the air, put the refrigerant in it, whatever it needs, and wire the fan correctly so it works through the system for 3,500 pesos, which is I don't know, it's like $175 for all that work."
Business says, I'm a refrigerant from Mexico. Hello. That was.
How do you get it across the border?
Yeah, because it's chemical.
Yeah,
You need permission.
it's a controlled substance.
Yeah, that was says R134A top up down here is a minimum 99 Australian dollars by backyard.
That's because they can charge you that.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys probably have to import the Freon, don't you? Or whatever they call it these days. I don't know what 130. I don't know if 134 is Freon.
Business says, I was talking about the AC guy. Miss Anna goes without saying.
Yeah. Yeah, well, since I've been going to him for so long, he knows me just a little bit, and I keep bringing him cars.
Yeah, can bring him a job.
This blue Opel is interesting because the wheel covers that are on it look like the Chevy Nova, early 70s Chevy Nova wheel covers or hubcaps, but it has the Opel insignia on it and not the Chevy, which makes them kind of rare. which is kind of a little symbol and then a lightning bolt through it.
Sabo says the gas is very expensive and heavily regulated as to who can buy it.
Yeah, not here. None of that is regulated. They don't put extra taxes on our paint materials for cars either, so it's not that expensive to paint a car here. And I did find a good shop, which was not easy to do, but it was recommended by my friend that owns his
Tire shop?
yeah, his tire and suspension shop. And they paint in a booth, and I quiz them on, okay, how many coats of color do you put on? How many coats of clear do you put on? They said 3 coats of color and 4 coats of clear. But if you want more coats of clear, because we live in such a hot climate, they'll put on as many as you want. And for one of those Ram Chargers, the 2000 Ram Charger, he gave me a price of 30,000 pesos, which is about $1,500 to paint the truck, completely paint the truck. So you can't beat that price. And it's not Earl Scheid. And after they paint it, they'll do the cut and buff, and they'll deliver it to you like it's a brand new vehicle. And I've seen some of his work.
Dean Stevenson is here? Yeah, he
Hey,
does
Dean.
snores.
Huh?
Sorry, Dean Stevenson is here. And I was saying that the dog does snore.
Yeah. So does this cat here.
Um, and Dean says, and you're cooler than any other American in Mexico, Mexican Spectre.
I sure hope so. I try not to be around those people, but yeah, probably.
Fitzknife says, Freon is R12, but most use the term for all refrigerants.
Yeah. I don't know what the new stuff is. And I heard you could put propane in the system, but it's kind of explosive.
Then they say, specifically, Freon is DuPont R12, callback to our Saturday conversation law.
Yeah.
Josh Homan says, that's a sharp looking toy.
The Porsche. Yeah. Somebody's done it up right. Or it's original, who knows?
Dean says, in the Gila Monster pose by
Gila Monster.
Gila?
Yeah.
Okay. Gila Monster pose by Carmichael Angelo on Stanknet, the AC unit is regassing is described.
Regassing.
Regassing is described. Sorry.
Dean, it's too late for her to be reading these big words.
Oh, I like that toy. So does Dean.
What is this?
This is GTX. Oh, sorry. Oh, no, they can't see it.
Oh, well.
Only you.
Okay. Obviously, that's not a GTX, Dean. GTXs didn't come with 318s and bench seats. That's some kind of satellite from the US that somebody brought in and did all this to it, a 1972 model, because of the side marker lights. And it's all black.
Fitzknife says, I used to service tractors that had propane in their AC systems. It's really jerk move to not tell your mechanic about that before the service he services the system.
Yeah, it could be explosive. Any tiny little spark, and there it goes. But does it really cool as well as the Freon and the fake Freon?
Dean says, lol, well, copy Bob the Campo and Kimbergini AC live on it.
Is it dinner time for you, Dean? Or somewhere around there?
Mark says, lol, I just watched a clip of White Lightning. He's shifting gears with a Hirsch floor shifter, but when he parks the car, he puts it in park with a column shift, lol.
Yes, they didn't even pay attention to that. The people that made the movie were definitely not car guys.
You could have made so much money if you were doing that.
Yeah, that's probably the only part of the the movie business that I would have been interested in.
Yeah.
But I would be fighting with the director constantly. No, you can't put that in the movie because it's wrong. No, it's going to cost too much money to do it right. So shut up. So I would be constantly fighting. So no.
Dean says they all should have best engine. Barracuda says supercalifragilistic. Is that how you spell? Is
Expialidocious.
that how you spell it?
Yeah.
Supercalifragilistic.
Fragilistic. Expialidocious. He didn't write out the part that was harder to spell. Docious.
Dean says we are not a codfish, Barracuda. Business says propane equals the performance or R12 better than R134.
Oh, okay. That's why people use it then, and it's cheap. People everywhere you look in town, people sell propane because people run their cars on it here. And cars, trucks, whatever they have, they run it on propane here because it's much, much cheaper than gasoline.
Bob says I like that black satellite.
It looks pretty good, but I bet it doesn't look that good in person because it's a black car. I can bet.
Can you hear the snoring?
Yes, I can hear it.
George says bad editing.
Mm-hmm.
Dean says I just had a lovely tea on French fried taters. Thanks, Mrs. Ecstasy.
I don't know. There's another part in the movie White Lightning where they show the engine, and it's obviously a Mustang engine compartment with the shock towers. So they didn't even try. You know, they didn't even try.
Sabo says not keen on the nose on the satellite. Just looks like add-on in the name of excess.
That's what they were doing.
Kim Fix's thing is here?
Yes, she's been here.
Really?
Yeah.
Probably when I was drinking a drink. And they say we learned a lot about AC systems last summer.
Yeah, in the house.
No, yeah, she was here. Yeah, we
Yeah,
were
she
talking
was
about.
here.
Okay, never mind. I'm falling asleep. Mark says propane and freon in Canada is illegal. What?
What isn't?
Barry says, Dean, did you know that blue cod aren't really cod?
Now they're talking about fish.
Okay.
So I'm out of that conversation.
Dean says this was AC, Buffalo Campo, and Kimberlini advice. Barracuda says many other things illegal in Canada. Well, you can't speak because the Kinder eggs are illegal in your country. So
Yeah, that's because American kids are too stupid to take the toy out before they eat it. I guess
so
that's what the government says anyway. On these square body trucks, guys, what is your favorite color combination?
Dean says I'm used to the English not telling the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Mark says to Mexican Spec, I didn't pay attention to that, but now that you mention it, it's a small engine bay.
Yeah, and the shock towers are right there, and Galaxies don't have shock towers. It was very obvious. They didn't even try to. I guess they figured the whole audience was going to be rednecks and nobody would pay attention to that movie. I don't know. I don't know what they were thinking, but like I said, that car would be a perfect tribute. And I looked for a Facebook group for the movie or something. There's nothing out there. I tried. There's nothing out there. That car has been for sale for probably 2 years, 3 years now. I mean, I'd like to have it for myself. I'd love to have a stick shift Ford Galaxy.
Mark says black and charcoal.
Black and charcoal.
Pitsnap says, well, propane is always illegal in AC systems, or at least immoral. Sabo says blue and white, same theme as that yellow.
Yeah, with the white in there.
Dean says, is that why I whistle when I eat one? Is the whistle dang and not just Americans, Mexican Spectre? The Kinder egg.
Oh, the Kinder Egg. Yeah, you're not supposed to eat the toy that's inside.
Barry says, warning, do not drink contents of battery.
But come on, it looks so tasty.
Mark says, lol, the rednecks would be the ones that will pay attention to those details. So
Right. Okay, so who did they think their audience was? Because Burt Reynolds was not a big name at the time. He was just starting his career. So I don't know. Was it a B movie that they thought just nobody cared?
Dean says, acid reflux, my result, Barracuda. Good advice.
At the very least.
Tabo says remove every warning label and let the problem sort itself out.
That's what I say.
Business says low Tabo, Darwinism.
I never understood this mania for trying to save everybody. That's counterproductive. You want people to go away and bring more in. Hopefully, they'll be smarter.
Sorry, I was drinking. Dean says something I can't read. Then there's
He's correcting his thing up there that says May.
oh, may result. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Dean says dogs that can't read. Mexican Spectre.
Exactly. So what's the point of the warnings anyway?
Mark says like a B movie.
I don't know, Mark. It was I wasn't around at the
Likely.
time. I never, it wasn't in my orbit at the time, but it's got a cult following now, and I have seen some tribute cars out there, but they had to make it a stick shift. They had to convert it completely with whatever pedals and everything. So this one comes from the factory with a stick shift. All you got to do is move it to the floor, and there's there's packages that you can buy that'll do just that. So it would be so easy.
Dean says American International Movies. C grade slash movies. Love it. Barracuda says your government should have come with a warning label, Tabo. Business says Jesse Ventura called them idiot laws when he was governor of Minnesota.
He was right. What do you think he would do with what's going on in Minnesota now? I don't think he would have put up with any of that.
Dean says it does, Barracuda. May contain albos. What is albos?
He deleted it.
Oh, sorry. Mark says Mexican spec, lol, and install shock towers.
No, that can be. We know that that's the wrong engine compartment. So people are trying to copy the car that's running from the police, running all over the place and doing jumps and everything else.
Mark says Mexican spec, lol. No wait, I read that. I read that. Pit Snipe says I can never stay on topic, can I? Lol.
That's fine.
Bob the
We
Campo
need we need new topics.
Bob the Campo says my choke cable had a warning that it can cause cancer in California. So I said, if you're in California, don't need the choke cable.
Exactly. I would like them to say on that same label what of the choke cable would cause cancer. Is it the knob, the plastic knob? Maybe it's the packaging it comes in. Because like
Um,
Olive said, yeah, the label's on there because the package it comes in may cause cancer. The plastic that it comes in, not necessarily the item that's inside. What?
I may be letting people know more than they should know about me, but I don't know what a choke cable is because when you say it, I think of something else. What
No,
is a
it's
choke
not that.
cable?
That's a choke strap. That's a choke strap that you can use. But a choke cable, he put a choke cable in his car that opens up the choke on the carburetor manually because he lives in a
mm.
colder place right now, and he just pulls the choke, gives it a couple pumps, and it starts right up.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, we don't use. None of my cars have working chokes on them, and they start immediately because we don't have cold weather here. So
Josh says all garments should come with a warning labels. Fair, fair. Mark says Mexican spec, the lightning wasn't even right.
yeah,
That was laughing at Bob the Campo. Bisnive says, I think there's a lot of static around what has actually happened in Minnesota. It's a distraction.
a lot of money is missing though, and that's very important.
Dean says Jesse V would have made every daycare work to its intended function. Tabo says the warning label is probably the only thing that causes cancer.
Yep, probably.
Barry says a choke cable that can cause cancer. Have they gone mad?
That
Dean,
depends what you do with the choke cable, Barry.
Dean says that's what I was wondering. Dean says, do they taste great? Is it banana skin flavored?
Well, Buff said don't eat it, but there's another way too. So
Piss nice says low Miss Anna choke cable. Um,
there's many things you can do with a choke cable that might cause problems. But
No, it's not Spec.
You never know.
Ay, Dios mío. Dean says Mrs. Mexican Spec that show cable. It won't hurt Mexican Spectre, will it?
I'm not into that stuff, so don't have to worry about that.
Well, don't let me hanging by myself. What the hell, man? Josh says, don't eat it, don't burn it.
No.
Dean says, Surly Buff would have just had a little nibble. Shirley Buff would have just had a little nibble. I was like, Surly. Fergus says, I love the color on that Mustang.
It does look nice on the fastback, doesn't it? Without all the extra Mach 1 stickers and everything else that they put on these cars, stripes and everything else. I like a nice, clean paint job.
Fitznave says, Keith Carradine? Lol.
Carradine. Yeah.
Carradine?
That's how he died. He tried to do it himself.
Dean says, don't leave us hanging, Mr. Mexican Spectre. No.
That's going to turn into a different type of live, guys. And it's on a different channel, too. We can tell you what channel.
Wait, what?
I don't think they do lives, but they do videos.
What?
What's the safe word? That's the kind of stuff they do.
Yes and no. Nice. What is it called? When you not nice. I'll think about it. Hold on. It will come to me. Mark says Sonata style gas cap, but I still have the gas cap off my 73 Mustang.
Yeah.
Dean says he will still be around. He will still be around.
He would still be around.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh.
Business says you're killing me, Smalls.
Okay, that hits a chord that is from the original Police Academy, right?
Dean says at least it won't be banned. Business says so dark humor. Thanks, y'all. Now I feel at home.
What other kind of humor is there? That's the best kind.
Dean says no. The safe word is never yes or no.
Safe word could be refrigerator.
No, the channel that I watch is called "What's Your Safe Word."
What's the safe word?
It's also
not your.
Mira.
What's the safe word?
Te voy a pegar.
Spelled WHATTS. The Sandlot. Wasn't Smalls one of the officers that were on what's his name? Not the lieutenant, the captain's side. The ones that kept being sent to that bar that they shouldn't be going into.
What's the safe word?
Oh, it's a safe word.
The safe word.
Right, the safe word. That's what I said.
Okay.
It's not your.
I think in other platforms.
Oh, it's WATTS.
I think on other platforms they are. What's your safe word?
Oh, well, that's kind of dumb. You have to have the same name across the platforms so they can find you. And advertisements for cars don't tell you anything about the car. Not anymore, Barry. They tell you what kind of person you are, but they don't tell you anything about the car.
It's the Sandlot. You're killing me.
Yeah, I said that, but I don't remember that from the Sandlot.
Barry says advertisements of cars don't tell you anything about the car. Mark says, okay, I was going to go to bed 30 minutes ago. Y'all have a good night / morning.
Good night, Mark.
Good night, Mark. Thank you for being here.
Try to stay warm. You're not in a hospitable environment.
Pizza says Smalls was a 10-year-old outfielder in the Sandlot.
Ah, that's weird.
I think. Yeah, that's the
what were the names of the two snitches on Police Academy?
I don't know, but I like that movie.
What, the Sandlot?
Yeah. It has a big dog.
Very big dog, yes. very big slobbery dog, and I had the same dog when I was a kid.
Did you?
Yeah,
Mm.
Brandy was her name, which was what wasn't very inventive.
I thought Brandy was
Dean said something. You better get it before it goes away.
Jesus Martin. Says it's important that it doesn't, Barracuda. We can use our imagination. Why did you get a six-cylinder Mustang, Dean? I imagine it was a 5 point. Oh, Mrs. Ecstasy. Fitzknife says there might have been a small in Police Academy too, but your killing me small comes from the Sandlot.
Okay.
Um, I thought Brandy was Saint Bernard.
Yes. What
The
is
dog in the Sandlot is not a Saint Bernard.
what is it?
It's Dogo de Burdeos. Are we talking about the same movie?
There's only one.
Yeah, but I see it in Spanish when I was a kid, so and obviously it had a different name.
It's not very inventive to name your Saint Bernard Brandy, obviously, but that's what we did.
Yeah, this dog. Hold on.
That's a Sandlot too.
I don't have a picture of, but isn't it the same dog?
Probably because it didn't exist, right?
I don't have a picture of the images.
Just put the
Images.
Sandlot
I
dog.
did.
Dog.
It's a dog. Right there. Right there. See? Es un dogo de
Yeah.
Burdeos.
Well, that's weird because it looks like he has a softball in his mouth and not a baseball. It's a huge mouth and it's a huge ball in his mouth.
I don't know, but it's un dogo de Burdeos.
Oh,
Not
okay.
un San Bernard.
Then I stand corrected and I have to say, never mind.
Bob del Campos is saying it's a San Bernard. It's not San Bernard, it's a dogo de Burdeos. I'm gonna fight you, all of you.
Here's a pretty little car. Black looks good on the Mustang too with the
Ni tú ni yo. It's an English Mastiff.
English Mastiff.
There you go.
Yeah, the Mastiff is one of the biggest dogs ever.
Ni tú ni yo.
Do you have any brandy berry to drink?
At Sunny's birthday party, they had a bottle of, I think it was whiskey. I want to say it was whiskey. I don't know. They had a bottle of some kind of uh, whiskey colored alcohol.
Yeah, but it's not a Saint Bernard. It's a Mastiff, even an even bigger dog than the Saint Bernard.
Yep. And so they had a bottle of whiskey, and Jesus had some, pour a little bit in the cup, and I was like, "Oh, can I have some?" And he's like, "Sure," but he looked at me funny because I don't have alcohol, so I just tried the cup and I smelled it. It's like, not too much like alcohol. It's like, no, thank you. I just wanted to know what it smelled like because I've never seen brandy before. Business says, the Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack has become my go-to for background music when folks are around. Brandy is in there. Love that one.
Yeah.
Brandy is a song?
Yeah.
Oh. Now I'm hot. Why did I have to have a hot drink?
That's what Kevin said about you tonight.
Really?
Mrs. Spec is hot. I said, yeah, it gets really hot here.
You're so rude. Sorry. Tabo says, my neighbor has a huge Great Dane. Real dopey dog. Its paws are as big as my hands.
Yeah, and they don't last very long either.
Mm,
You, it's lucky if a Great Dane gets to 10 years old.
yeah.
And they have all kinds of hip problems and muscle problems. And dogs were not meant to be that big. You heard what, Dean? Did I say something? Supposedly, this Mustang has new suspension in the front. That doesn't look like new suspension to me. Oh, chrome air cleaner too. Cool.
So now I have a snoring dog and a snoring cat and a snoring husband.
He's not snoring right now.
Not right now, but he does. Dean says you could use it to do your next roof transplant towel. Dean says that means mixing a spec. Pete Snipe says I had a productive day today. Well, hold on. I had a productive day today in my jammy pants. I helped another YouTube diagnose the generator on his 75 KZ 450 Kawasaki. Um, for I don't know for if I
for what it's worth.
for its worth is the same as every other motorcycle.
Yep.
Oh, that Mrs. Mexican Spec is hot.
Mm.
That was his new lowered suspension.
Yeah, brand new lower suspension. Just this is an interesting car because I looked really closely at the steering column, and it is a factory stick shift, floor shifted car in Mexico, which is very, very rare here. It's got the hump there built out, and it does not have where the shifter would be on the column. So it's very, very rare model. I don't like the Starsky and Hutch stripe. I don't like that at all. But the next person can do something about that.
Barry says, does he have a saddle for it towel?
You can't do that, Barry, because their backs are very weak.
He's joking.
I know, but it's not possible.
And Tao says, not sure, Barry. I should ask.
If a kid jumps on a Great Dane's back, its chances are the dog's going to turn around and bite him because it hurts so bad. Not a good thing. They're very weak dogs in comparison with other large breeds.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather have a small dog or a medium dog, not a Chihuahua type, not a tiny dog, not a yap yap dog, but a small dog.
On my
poodle type, like what we have here. I don't know what he is, but he's got poodle hair, kind of.
On my experience, I would rather have a dog that I can actually pick up if he needs to be picked up. Like if I'm walking in the park with him and something happens, I need to be able to pick him up and take him back to the car.
Yeah.
That was says I don't like the beak or the stripe. And Dean says, but it looks above.
I don't mind the beak, obviously, because I have a 74 Dart sitting out in my backyard. They don't bother me.
The color doesn't bother me anyway.
There's a dog. I'm not sure who owns him and the other dog too. What?
We're talking so much about dogs.
Yeah. He's like 5 or 6 houses down the street. And when Mrs. Spec and I walked to the store over there, the other day I walked myself over to the store to get some peanuts, and I saw him like circle around into the street, and he was barking. But when he heard my voice, his ears went up and he came right over to me to be scratched. I guess I made a friend with him.
That was says when my dopey dog goes, I'll be looking at either a blue heeler or a kelpie. I don't know anything about the kelpies, but blue heelers need extreme exercise and training. So do be careful with that.
That may not be for you, Tavo.
Yeah, because they are destructive.
That's like a border collie. You got
worse than a border collie.
You got to be there all the time, and I'm not sure you're up for that.
Like border collies are like the ballerinas to the rockers of the blue heelers, because the blue heelers are for cattle and border collies are for sheep. Like sheep don't fight back, cattle does. Am I yelling? I feel like
Barry,
I'm yelling.
You're probably right. The 7 years for a Saint Bernard, but I think it depends on what kind of life they have. Because if they're actually working in the snow saving people, I bet they live longer because they're doing the exercise, they're doing what they were made to do instead of just sitting in somebody's backyard.
Also, they are in the cold and the heat does horrors to them.
Yeah. You might not believe it, but our next door neighbor here has a Siberian Husky.
Mm-hmm.
And they keep it outside.
No, they bring him inside when at night.
Do they?
Yeah, and whenever we take the trash out, he's never out there.
Oh, I
And
don't
he
know, because the other night I heard him crying all night and in the morning.
maybe they forgot him.
And for somehow he lost one of his eyes somehow.
He did.
Yes,
I didn't notice.
yeah, there's no eye on this side,
I didn't
on
notice.
the right side. Yeah, but it is cruel to have a Siberian Husky when we have 120, 125-degree heat in the summertime here, and he's not in the house in the air conditioning. It's cruel.
Business says Butters the Maltipoo and Kitty Jeannie with wild hair are asleep at my feet right now. Who do you have asleep at your feet right now, Mister?
His name is Oscar, and Jose named him that, and he answers to it.
He does.
So I get it's his name.
And Barracuda says San Bernard started its life 7 year ish. Dean says, but it's 49 in dog years.
Mm-hmm.
Tabo says, I know the breeds well. Good dog for here. I guess.
You could just let him out on your property and he can exercise himself then, Tavo.
Barry says, I've got a Kelpie Huntaway cross.
What is a Kelpie?
What's a Huntaway cross? I mean, what's a Huntaway? Dean says, Tabo, just get some shut up sticks and an EV bike, bro.
Or a treadmill.
Have you seen the treadmills for dogs? They're
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Business says Huskies are just a job. Business says sounds cruel. Agreed.
Mm-hmm.
Dean says her name is Anna. Whose name? Barracuda says Archie Bunker called San Bernards Roman Catholic dogs.
Roman Catholic dogs.
That was
I don't know why they would do that.
that was Kelpie's an Australian cattle dog. I don't know much
How
about
big
that
is it
breed.
though?
No, it
Medium
must be
or large?
it must be medium. Business says, damn it, Dean.
What you were just reading.
Business says, damn it, Dean, we talked about this. Is Miss Anna. Go with the brother.
Uh-oh, we created something.
Dean says, that makes me laugh. So, who's Archie?
Archie Bunker, he was on All in the Family. It
Um,
was a groundbreaking show.
Tavo says, work just as well, just as well with cheap. Some individuals work with both jobs.
You have sheep, Tavo?
Dean says, the lovely item that keeps Mexican Spectre feet warm. Lol. Wait, no. He's saying that I'm the lovely item that keeps you feet warm.
Oh, I sleep in a different room.
We sleep in separate bedrooms.
Yeah, because she works at night, so I need darkness to sleep. She keeps it light in here all the time.
Also, I don't warm up your feet. What the fuck?
I don't need my feet warmed up. It's not cold here.
That's not what I mean.
That's what he means.
Mm-hmm. Business says Lolbarry Rip Reiner. Dean
R.I.P.
says, how many N's? Davos says, neighbors have sheep, lots of them.
Oh, okay.
Business says, just one, buddy. Dean says, dang.
Pit Snipe on that Rob Reiner thing. That's another case I do not want to watch any videos about. I don't want to watch anything until there's an actual, they're actually done with the case, because it just gets on my nerves. Oh, well, we're speculating about this and we're speculating about that, and he did it because of this and he did it because of that. I don't want to see any of that. Any of it.
You were saying about the thing on Venezuela?
No, Rob Reiner.
Yeah, but
his son
because you
him.
said all is something else I don't want to
Right,
see.
yeah. I don't. It's not that I don't want to. I just haven't seen any videos of it. I haven't put any videos on. I don't know what happened. We asked Luis. I don't know how close to Caracas he is. If he may live somewhere else in the country, so he doesn't know anything about it. I don't know if they even know. I mean, if the news reported it there, I don't know. I don't know what their system is like. So
Dean says, I'm so ashamed. I shall leave, but I'll still be here. Don't worry, Dean. Barry says he was great at meathead his politics.
Yeah. he played the role well as a foil for Archie Bunker. But you can find videos of young people today reacting to um, to All in the Family. Like, how could he say that? How could they put that on TV? Stuff like that. But that's Norman Lear was a genius when he came up with that show. It's exactly what the country needed at exactly that time.
Pitsnap says, I don't watch any of it either. I can enjoy his work though.
Yeah,
Dean says, at least he was consistent, Barracuda.
yeah.
Pitsnap says, you can't handle the truth.
Rob Reiner directed that movie,
I don't think I've seen the movie.
and I'm glad he did put All in the Family on because that was the first time we saw the Jeffersons, and then they were spun off into their own show, and then I met Sherman Hemsley and his agent, and he invited me to watch him film one of his episodes. I was only 16 at the time. My family and I went, but they said you're 16, you can't sit in the audience. You have to be 18 to sit in the audience. So they took me into his dressing room, and I watched it on a monitor with a couple of other guys there, the producer or whatever. And when it was over, then I met back up with my family and we left. But I remember that episode very well. Roxy Roker was not in that particular episode. It was all of the others, but she wasn't in that episode.
Hoy es 4, ¿verdad? O
Not
5.
anymore. Hoy es 5. 5 de enero 2026. So, how has your new year been so far? No, they wouldn't let me sit in the audience, even though I was invited by the star of the show. Rules are rules, I guess. But there was food and everything in there, in his dressing room, in Sherman's dressing room.
Sorry, there was an earthquake in Guerrero.
Yeah, that was a while ago.
No, this is Sunday 4th.
Another one?
Yep.
Oh well, nobody goes there anyway. Mexican inspector was thinking, hey, these people are unhinged. You need to control them, director. Jeez. No, it was a very calm episode. Nobody was screaming and yelling. Not much of Sherman doing his walk, all that stuff. That's not a good thing, Tavo.
Mine has been forgettable so far, mainly because I forget half of what happens.
Not good. So your doctor said you can't work on the cars anymore? Is it a physical thing?
I mean, can we ask, or is it okay, or like you
I
don't
mean,
want to
I
talk
go,
about
I
it?
go out to the backyard, and even though Buff says my cars are derelicts, I wash them. I make sure there's air in the tires. Um, I've done some stuff under the hood of the Dart, cleaning everything, replace the valve cover
Well, don't
gaskets,
show
stuff like
off.
that. I give the cars, every one of them, attention. They're not just sitting there rotting away. Well, the Buick convertible is, because it's going to take a major effort to get those leaves out of the car. Because I have the seat in it from the '81 Impala, which does not fold forward, so I can't really squeeze in there to get everything off the floor.
Is that your stomach or his?
That's not my stomach. That's the dog. He makes all kinds of noises. Okay, so it's neurological causing physical constraints.
He doesn't want to talk about it. It's
Yeah.
fine. Dean says it's okay. You have a variant to work on. The more you remove, the better they get. Look at Kim and Puffs.
No, I'm not cutting anything. Not cutting on my cars. What do you think about the wheels besides you cleaning the wire wheels? The gold.
Mm,
The gold and the black.
yeah,
I think gold
it's
goes
black.
with
I thought it was blue.
No, it's gold. It's black. I think gold goes with black paint. Some gold. I'm a Cadillac guy, so they put the gold package on the cars.
But it has chrome though.
Yeah, it has chrome and it has gold. I don't like the painted tail lights. That's stupid.
Yeah, that's stupid. Yeah, I like it. I thought it was blue though. Berkeley saw Rob Reiner in an episode of The Partridge Family recently.
I'm sure he did some guest spots and other things.
Fitzness
Yeah.
says Maureen Stapleton was a very close replica of my grandma. The boys smiled and laughed. He was a little snipe when I used to watch that show on Grandma's lap.
That must be really weird to watch on TV.
Dean says, if you got a great person to keep them clean, Mexican Spec.
I do. She's sitting right here.
Mm-hmm. Bob says, wheels look okay, but not for my car.
No, well, I don't know. Gold does go with brown, but this is an American car because it has an inline six cylinder under the hood, and that's a no-no. They never put an inline six in Mexico in these cars.
Fitznif says, Fistbump Tavo, I feel, yeah, I got mine too. Hang in there, brother.
Somebody brought an inferior Fairmont to a country that had superior Fairmonts. That was weird.
Mm. It's almost 2 hours.
Yeah, you said you didn't want to be on for 2 hours.
That was kind of like a nice hint, for sure.
Yeah.
Dean says we could cut the springs down to suit Puff the Campo.
I'd like to get one of these Monte Carlos too. I want so many cars. This car has to drive nice with the 350 under the hood and the automatic. I don't think I'll be able to afford or want to spend the money on a stick shift. But these are very nice. This would be a luxury car for somebody in that time. Uh, Dougster was asking me yesterday what the rich people would buy. Look at that interior. That is high. That's luxury right there. It's a power seat. It's leather, real leather, and it's really soft.
Puff says maybe they moved to Mexico and that was their car.
People were bringing in cars, all kinds of cars that they, over the last years. Right now, because this is January, the new laws came out, and I think 2020 models can come into Mexico and be imported legally and get license plates and everything now. So it's only a 6 year thing in Mexico compared to the 25 in the United States and 15 in Canada. So people buy cheap used cars over there and they bring them in here and they sell them.
Tavo says I must leave you guys being summoned for my dinner by my visitor slash cook. Oh,
Okay,
nice.
Tavo, thank you for spending some time with us
Let us know if you get a
tonight.
dog.
Yeah, I don't think the cats are going to appreciate you getting a dog.
Nope. Thank you for being here, Tavo.
I know my cats don't appreciate the dog being in the house
No. Business
because
says sticker Tavo. Dean says noise, don't burn your lips.
we have a smaller female gray cat that we brought into the house. Figured she was going to be in the house, but no, she likes to be outside in the backyard. That's her territory. If one of the other cats walks by her, she'll hunt the cat and slap it on the back. One day I was sitting out there checking my other dog, and I watched the gray cat come up to this dog here, like whispered in his ear, and immediately he ran after to attack the white cat that's sitting here. And it's like she's got control of these dogs. Like she's the fungus that's controlling the dogs. So, well, okay, the cat's not here anymore. He took off.
No.
Stealth cat. So every once in a while, the dog will, go after the other cats on behalf of the gray cat. So now that the dog is in the house, can come in the house and stuff, the cats are paying him back and going after him. They'll slap him on the butt as he goes by because it's their house.
You have a nut right here.
Yeah.
Um, that was a take care, guys. All the cats love the current dog. They'll love a puppy more.
I sure hope so. Usually that's not the case. If a puppy has more energy than they do and wants to play more, they'll just slap the puppy in the face and go away.
It says each will just love you, Tavo. Of the Campos is convertible.
Somebody cut the roof off a Mustang and then put that top on. That has to be a Mexican car because it has the Capri front end on it.
Knife says, I swear this cat on my feet is nuclear, but I don't want to move because she's sleeping so comfortably.
Yeah.
I know how you feel.
I do the same thing with the cats in the bed. I don't move them. I'll move my legs around so I don't bother them. I've always been like that.
Dean says, I love my cat Mustang.
Now this might be an interesting car to completely redo it and put a new top on it and paint it a nice color and everything because it is pretty cheap.
Then they say, no, it's not a Capri. Have you been listening, Dean? Do you ever listen, Dean?
See, how could it be a Capri if it has amber turn signals in the back? Capris didn't have that.
I don't know.
They didn't. So who knows if maybe they just put those taillights in there because it's supposed to have Capri taillights, which was only two red turn signals and brake lights.
Oh.
But who knows, who cut the roof, but somebody went out of their way to actually put a folding roof on this car. The only Capri convertibles that look like this were made by McLaren in the US, and they were very expensive cars, but they were two-seaters, not four-seaters. And I remember this because a kid in school, his father bought him one, and it was a brand new car at the time, 1983 or so, 83, 84. His father bought it for him, and he would bring it onto the service road, in front of the auto shop. It was a two-seater Mercury Capri convertible made by McLaren.
Rich 46129 is here.
Hello, Rich. What are we doing tonight? What are you doing tonight on this Sunday night? Well, Monday night for most people. Soon
Yes, Monday.
In 2 more minutes, it's going to be Monday night for everybody in the U.S.
Dean says, I read on Four Eye Pride that they, I don't know what's Four Eye Pride. Barracuda says, I'm obviously in the presence of fellow cat fanciers here.
Yeah, I'd rather have a cat than dogs. They mostly take care of themselves. But
I'm unsure because I used to like more dogs than cats, but cats are really easy to take care of. I do have to say that.
yeah, well, all of the dogs that I have had, and I have had a lot of dogs here in the past 26 years, have come to me. I have not gone out and gotten them. They've all come to my door and asking for help. Some of them, like this one here, was really close to death. Another one at my other house, because we named him Jack. He needed a really strong name. He was really close to death. He was a skeleton when he
Yeah.
came to my door, and I had my Durango in the driveway, and the farthest he got was just laying under the front bumper of the Durango. He couldn't go any farther. He was completely out of it. So I picked him up, and I thought this could go either way. He could be an aggressive dog, or whatever. I picked him up, and he licked my face, and that told me what kind of dog he was. So I took him to the vet, and he needed all kinds of medicines because he had all kinds of diseases and everything. And I could not bring him back home because he couldn't be with the other dogs. So Mrs. Spec and her family were renting a house. They were living in a house that I was renting for some extra property, and she took care of him until he had a clean bill of health, and she kept him away from her dogs too. He lived on a balcony on the top, but we fed him, and he gained some weight, and he ended up being the best. He was out of my pack. He was everybody's favorite dog.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's favorite dog. When my son, they had this thing at a school to bring one of your pets. He says, I want to bring Jack. I want to bring Jack to school and show him off. Okay, fine. So yeah, they always came to me. I didn't go out and get any of them, and I certainly cannot understand people going out and spending money for a dog, buying a dog. I don't. I mean, unless you're, if you live in Australia and you need a sheep herder, I can understand that. But animals come to me, and that's how it's always been here. I never had dogs before I moved here. Family has, but I never had one. I never had dogs myself.
Didn't you had one in Las Vegas?
That was very temporary because we found the dog and it was so hot on the streets that the pads of the dog's
Pause.
paws were burned. So I brought him home and cured him and everything with the vet and everything. But he was just super high energy, and I had to go to work and I couldn't stay home in the house, and he was destroying the house. So I had to find a home for him. But like I said, the cats would go out of the house by themselves and come back in by themselves. They didn't need me to be there, just to put down food, and that's it. So I'd rather have cats. No offense, Oscar.
Um, Business says Loldin Crew Funny. Off the campus is Monday. I have a worthless doctor appointment today.
A worthless?
That's what it says. Worthless. Dean says it's listed as a hatch on the body type, but it's converted to a coop. Hey, Danny. They're a very complicated build, but Ford knew how they wanted them built. Dean says I'm still as weird as normal.
Yeah, well, if you're talking about the McLaren Caprice, Dean, of course it's listed as a hatch because they never made a coupe out of a Capri. So they had to start with the hatch. And then they I don't know how they did it because it ended up with the Mustang rear end on it. But he's not allowed in?
No, he pees in here. Mm, Dean says, I missed my great walk today, maybe tomorrow, Rich. Bisnev says, I have never intentionally sought out a pet of any kind, but I can let and none of my pets suffer through taking them to a shelter or they just show up.
We don't have shelters here.
Te-
Dogs just stay living on the street if nobody does anything for them.
Technically, we have a couple of rescues, but and Rich says, I have to check that out later, Dean. Dean says, well, it's always fun making a date with my wife at the dead center of town. It says that high-tech vehicle monitoring system is one of my favorite features on the Mustang slash Caprice.
Oh yes, high tech pit. I'm very high tech.
Dean says, don't lead on that fan shroud, Mexican inspector.
Never. I never do that.
Dean says, it must be paid by Veterans Affairs, then Buffalo Campo. Peace Knife says, oh God, don't get me started on the VA. Good luck, Buff.
He doesn't pee in my room.
He likes to pee on my clothes for some reason, on the dirty clothes.
Hmm.
And he does pee
Is
on
he
your
still
room.
over there?
No,
I'm hearing something.
he does pee on your room. He's licking himself. That's what you're hearing.
No, I'm hearing something over there.
No.
He's waiting for me to go to bed
Mm-hmm.
because it is time. We went through 588 pictures.
And we've been here 2 hours.
Yeah. Says down there.
I don't like that it's
Says down there. 2 hours, 3 minutes.
yeah, but I don't like that this doesn't connect when I started.
Read the comments and then we'll sign off.
Mm, Versus you're very good people. My second border collie was advertised as going to be put down if nobody takes him. I couldn't let that happen, especially as he was only 17 months old.
How can you fault a 17-month-old puppy for anything? People didn't teach him right.
Of the campus is worthless because I get there, see a nurse practitioner, and she does nothing.
Sounds like the hospitals here. All of them.
Mm-hmm. Dean says, how many veterans get an affair out of it. This knife husker. That's why they are disappointed. Dean says you could start an oh wait, oh yeah, well, best of fortune, the campo. Businesses. Okay, so I was on contract at the VA on Omaha as an automation technician, and I did have a couple of affairs, so I was single. But maybe I shouldn't complain. Lol.
Is it an affair if you're single? I don't think so.
You're having an affair if you're not supposed to do that with your coworkers.
An affair is with married people.
But I thought it was like like I forgot the word. I'm sleeping.
Forbidden fruit.
No, like
They're not supposed
sneakily.
to. Right. But that's no. An affair is with a married person. Anyway, yeah, guys, I really have to get to bed. I don't know what Mrs. Spec is gonna do.
I'm gonna go to bed.
Oh, she's gonna go to sleep too. So, thank you for this late night live. We really didn't plan anything, but Mrs. Speck says we're not going to be on for 2 hours, are we? No, of course
Stop,
not.
stop throwing me under the bus.
It's not on the bus.
It is too.
I said once we start talking to people, we'll just see how it goes. I would really like to have this Cavalier. You ever seen a black Cavalier before? With a stick shift and a V6 under the hood? It's weird because I don't think they sold the 1990 Cavalier here. It may not be a 1990 with that steering wheel though. That looks more like the 93.
See you on Thursday, Buff.
We will see you on Tuesday if I don't talk to you before that, Buff. So 2.8 with a stick shift. Ugh. Okay. Good night, everybody. Take care.
Thank you for being here.
Hopefully this week brings you something good. I hope it brings me something good too. Good night.
Good night, guys.